In today's video, I'm going to show you how to build a competitive limited MLS team on SORARE for around $300, £270 roughly, which is the equivalent to 0.3 ETH. If you do enjoy the video, please leave it a like. And if you are new around here, please do subscribe. And let's just get straight into things. So to build this lineup, we are going to be using the concept builder on SORARE data, where you can conceptualize lineups, see how much the lineup's going to cost you, and see how many rewards you would have won if you would have built those lineups previously. So we're going to have a budget of roughly 0.3 ETH, which is the equivalent to £280, just over $300 to build a 5-man limited MLS team on SORARE. So of course we are going to need a goalkeeper to start us off. There's a few candidates for this position, but there is one that I have in mind, but I will go through the ones I like and give you a little bit of insight on who I like, who I don't like. Sean Johnson is a good pick, but he would cover most of our budget, so we're not going to go there. But he's a very solid MLS player. I like John McCarthy as well. LA do seem to keep a good amount of clean sheets, but he isn't who I have in mind. Andre Blake's a good one to look into as well. But for me, the best bang for your buck is with Zach McMath of Real Salt Lake. They just won 2-0 on this weekend. He's pretty cheap for a starter. Last season, David Ochoa is an under-23 keeper, had the gloves, had the #1 jersey. Due to injuries and a few disciplinary actions, McMath has taken over David Ochoa's #1 spot at Real Salt Lake, and he is doing so very well. As you can see on his SO5 graph here, I think he's got 6 clean sheets so far, a couple of decent AA scores without getting a clean sheet, a couple of stinkers in there as well, to be fair, but ultimately, for the price we're paying, he's basically the best we're going to get, in my opinion. And to go with him, I do like stacking defenders and goalkeepers. So we are going to try and find a defender from Real Salt Lake. They do have a few good centre-backs, which I do like, one of them being Justin Glad. He's only 25, L5 of 62, L15 of 61, which is really nice at 0.04 ETH. So he is definitely in contention because, of course, playing for the same team as McMath, correlation, if they both get clean sheets, then we're looking at 35 points extra for them, 10 for the defender, 25 for the goalkeeper, which I do like the sound of. Callens is a very solid player, but of course doesn't play for Salt Lake. I do like the look of Alan Franco as well, playing for Atlanta, even though they aren't the best team in the world right now, but he is a very, very good defender, in my opinion. Kai Wagner is a good player, takes a lot of set pieces. Diego Palacios is very hot and cold. He is under 23s as well. But the guy I do have my sights on is Marcelo Silva. I watched him play this weekend. He did captain the side alongside Justin Glad at centre-back. He actually scored, to be fair to him. He is 33, so he is getting on a bit, but he is super duper cheap, and he does form a defensive stack for us with our Real Salt Lake goalkeeper. If we take a look at Marcelo Silva's SO5 scores, they are pretty nice to look at. There aren't many orange scores. There's a lot of green, but 92 this weekend, 86 here with a decisive, 83 here. There are a few solid AA scores here from the centre-back, which I do like the look of. They're not crazy scores, but they're good enough for me for the price he's at. Like I said, he is pretty cheap. For under 0.1 ETH, I think that is a really, really solid defensive stack there, in my opinion. And it does allow us to go a little bit more heavy on the midfielder, forward, and extra position, where we're going to need some players that are going to score some really nice peak scores. So we're going to go into the midfielder next. We're not necessarily looking for Real Salt Lake midfielders. We're looking for anyone in the MLS, really, that can really provide us what we really need in terms of goals, assists, good AA scores. Carlos Heel is way over budget. I would love to get someone like him in. Nicolas Ladero, albeit does enjoy an injury. For me, he is up there with one of the best midfielders in the MLS. When I watch him play, he's fantastic. He's playing on a good team in Seattle, and he's their number 10, wicked left foot. I do really like the look at him, so we are probably going to throw him in, but we're going to have a little look elsewhere first. Paul Arriola is really hot right now. As you can see, his L5 is 76. He's a little bit over budget for me. Santiago Rodriguez is a really, really highly rated youngster at NYFC. Luciano Acosta is a nice player, to be fair. Is a nice number 10 for Cincinnati, but Cincinnati aren't the best team in the MLS by any stretch of the imagination, so I think I'm going to leave that one alone. Montero is a very solid option for San Jose, and so is Pereira of Orlando City. I went to watch him live when I went to the Orlando-Charlotte game a few months back with a load of the SORARE guys. I have a vlog on my channel, you should check it out. But yeah, I like the look of him a lot. He's the captain of Orlando. He takes a lot of set pieces. He is 32, L5 of 63, L15 of 58. And he's at a price where, you know what, I think we're going to probably have to take the chance on him. I do like Roldan as well. Pozuelo is another good one to look into. João Paulo would have been a very good one if he didn't do his ACL. Lewis Morgan has actually surprised me this season, to be fair. I do like the look of him. Hani Mukhtar has been exceptional for Nashville, but price just scares me a little bit. Reynoso is actually at a really good price, I think. 0.04 ETH for Reynoso. He takes a lot of set pieces from Minnesota. They're not the best team in the world, similar to an Acosta at Cincinnati. But for me, I think Reynoso is a little bit better. But I think we're going to go with Mauricio Pereira for Orlando City. At the price, very similar price to Reynoso, but I think Pereira just offers a little bit more for me. Maybe that's a little bit of a bias just because I've seen him play in real life. But we are going to throw him in there, and we are up to a floor price of 0.148. So we've basically blown half our budget so far, which isn't bad. We've only got 2 players left to buy. In terms of forwards in budget, I don't think we're going to have a crazy amount to choose from. DeRusi would be a lovely buy, but he's going to be way over budget. Vela's just way too injury prone for me, so I won't be touching that. Magno is like one of the best youngsters in the MLS right now, but again, way over budget, but I do really, really like him. Rudiaz is definitely a good shout here. 0.08 right now, floor price. He is injured. I don't think the injury is that bad. L5 of 63, L15 of 58 is very good for a forward. Taking a look at his SO5 scores since, game week 258, he basically scores almost every game he plays in. 92 here, I think he got 2 decisives. 2 decisives the week before last. I think he got injured in this game, to be fair. Right now, just looking at those top 6 players, Rudiaz is definitely in with a shout. Meram's a decent player. He plays on the left wing, though, for me, and I don't know, he's just not in the play as much as I'd like him to be. Taxi's a very good player playing for DC United. I do like the look of him. Jesus Ferreira is a very, very good forward, but I wouldn't pay the under 23 premium on him. To play him in All-Star Limited, to be honest, is just no point. Abubakar is a decent shout. I like the look of Swiderski as well for Charlotte. Pato is way past it for me. Johnny Russell's decent. Velasco, again, don't pay the under 23 premium. There's just no point. Darwin Quintero is actually a really, really good player, to be fair. 34 years old. Houston aren't the best team in the world, but he is very good for that price. I kind of do like the look of that. Araujo is insane for Atlanta United. I really like the look of him. He's a little bit over budget. I've been lucky enough to see him live playing for Atlanta. He actually scored in the game as well, but did get injured earlier on in the season. But I think Rudiaz is probably my best shout here, guys. I do like the look of him, and I think I'm going to pair him up with Nicolas Ladero. I think we're going to go with 2 midfielders in this team. So we're currently at a floor price of 0.226. I think we're going to throw in a Ladero, and that should take us, to just over 0.3 ETH. Having a look at Ladero's SO5 scores, we'll see that he can score very, very high. 96 here, 86, 89, 87 is what we like to see. A couple in the 60s here, a few 70s, 39 in the last game week. But for me, for the price, this team is a very, very solid team in my opinion. I know Rudiaz is injured right now. I don't think the injury is too serious. But in terms of set pieces, we've got 2 midfielders in Pereira and Ladero that take set pieces. So there's always, for me, an increased chance of a decisive, of an assist, of a big chance created, or even a goal. Rudiaz is the penalty taker for Seattle. He's their number 9. He's their main man when he's fit and seems to score in a lot of games. And then we've got the defensive stack of Real Salt Lake that has proven to score well and to get quite a lot of clean sheets this season. So you could basically go buy this team at floor price, which means you could literally just go buy these players right now on SORARE for 0.309 ETH, which is just over $300. And honestly, for the amount of games that are left in the MLS, I don't think that's a bad shout at all. Throw these into Champion America or All-Star Limited. So when we apply the captain's bonus to Ladero, it does tell us that we would have won 2 rewards playing this lineup over the last few weeks that this lineup has been a thing. So as you can see here, 335 points, we would have won a tier 3, and then 369 here, we would have won a tier 1 limited, which is really, really nice. That would have been a really good week for this team. And they've only played together, according to SORARE data, 20% of the time in 5 game weeks. So hopefully, like I said, if all these players are fit, I think this team wins rewards very, very frequently. That is just my opinion. This is not financial advice. That would just be my analysis on this team for the price and for this season. in the MLS. Of course, there'd be loads of other variations of this team that we could make for the same price, but this is just the standout players, and for me, in my opinion, the best bang for your buck in terms of winning rewards. Let me know what you think about the lineup. Do you think I've missed out on some players that should be in this lineup? Let me know in the comment section below. Hope you did enjoy the video, guys. If you did, please leave it a thumbs up. Hope you have a great day, and I shall see you guys in the next video.